欢迎大家来到马来西亚雪邦国际赛道观看亚洲保时捷 ARbox 卡雷拉杯第9回合的赛事直播。这周可谓是本赛季最令人期待的分站之一。现在各位在镜头还没有看到，但是在我们的赛道旁已经有非常多的人潮在聚集着等待今天的夜间赛的开跑。Hello everyone and welcome to Sepang International Circuit for round 9 of Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. This week is really exciting as we are going to welcome the first night race in the season, followed by 2 races on tomorrow, where there will be an intense battle for the podiums. All of you can't see it, but over there are lots of crowd. Can't wait to kick off this night race, and it's been 8 hours since qualifying rounds wrapped up this morning. That's a long stretch of waiting for both our drivers and everyone else. Let's jump straight into the action by passing it over to our commentators.
Well, thank you very much, Sammy. Down on the grid at the Sepang International Circuit. And while, yes, it has been a long wait since qualifying, we've got 3 races in the next 24 hours to look forward to. Not just a night race, but an endurance race tomorrow as well. Hi, folks. Arjuna Kankipati here in the broadcast booth for the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. And with just 2 rounds of the championship left to go, there's lots for us to talk about in terms of the championship storylines and various tidbits like that. But I think when we consider the fact that we are here under the night lights with a 29 car field, we had 1 car withdraw during the week, we are in for what could be one of the most intense rounds of the season so far. And round 9 sitting in front of us, 13 laps or 30 minutes of racing. It should be intense around the 5.5 kilometers, 15 turns of the clockwise Sepang International Circuit. While it's hosted Formula One for many a year and will do so once again later on in 2026, it's been a staple of Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. And some of the key passing opportunities, turn 4 down at turn 9, and obviously the last braking zone into the hairpin at turn 15 as well. But when you think of those opportunities, the exits of the corners before become that much more important to carry your momentum out of some of those crucial traction zones. And then, of course, don't forget the switchback sweepers, 5 and 6. We've seen plenty of cars being forced offline, run offline, and finding themselves in a whole world of hurt. Our drivers are getting a sense for the conditions with the 10 hours that have elapsed between qualifying and the start of this first race of the weekend. Let's talk though about weather, because conditions have changed, yes, but it should still be relatively cool-ish, you would think. Yes, the track has been baked by the Malaysian sun for much of the day. However, you would hope that now with the sun setting below the horizon, the Michelin tires for our competitors will maybe have to work a little less hard and give these drivers a bit more life at the conclusion of the race. 33 degrees air temperature is still very warm, and it's going to be sweltering for the drivers in the cockpit as well, we should not forget. But always great to see. No chance of rain, small wind. How does this all reflect when it translates into our track temperature provided by the great team at Michelin? 41 degrees Celsius, and by my notes from last year, that is cooler than any of the races that we had, so it's a good sign. Although maybe not such a good sign, because the coolest conditions were 36 degrees Celsius for the night race that we had then. Marcos Amon misses this round of the championship, but he holds a handy lead over Marco Giltrap, Rodrigo Diaz-Almeida, Marvin Klein, and Ling Kang. Now, there's 13 rounds of this championship. The top 11 points across the season are scored. Marcos Amon sits in a very good position to wrap up the championship when we head to Singapore. But this championship will go all the way to the wire. Pro-Am, well, there is a mathematical chance that Wong Jong-wei could wrap it up. However, Bao Jinlong, back in action after missing the run on the streets of Bong Sen, could try and mathematically keep it a little bit tighter. Chris Chia swept the weekend in Bong Sen for Pro-Am. He sits 3rd in points, with Lu Wei not attending this round of the championship once again. Roy Tang returns to Sepang International Circuit. He had a monster crash here in a road car last year, injured his spine. He's got some demons to bury and a championship lead to hold on to, with Simon Chan in that Fire Monkey car hunting him down, but just half a point back to Henry Kwong, the defending champion Yen Truong and Eric Kwong, the rest of the top 5. And then in Masters, John Shen, Jackie Wu in front of defending champion Adrian De Silva, who missed the first 2 rounds in points, so he's got some mathematical round to catch up, but still sits in a good position. Douglas Koo rejoins us for the first time since Fuji. He also elected to skip the race at Bongsen, and we have 5 of the Masters drivers. That's one of the storylines to talk about. What else does Steve Dawson have for us?
Well, you might be forgiven for thinking that Marcus Armand is running away with the Drivers' Championship, and that's fair enough, but there are 3 races at the Sepang International Circuit this weekend, and Marcus is not driving in any of them. So that gives those who are close to him in the Drivers' Championship a good opportunity to make up some ground. Now, one of those, chief among them, in fact, is Marco Giltrap. He's in pole position, and in fact, he's in pole position for every one of the 3 races. So great chance for Marco. Marco, well done on qualifying. What a tremendous round you had this morning. This is a good opportunity, isn't it, to make up on the absent Marcus Armand?
Yeah, definitely wanting to do well here, of course, as always. But yeah, that does entice me a little bit more. But we've put ourselves in the best position in the Team Porsche New Zealand El Bamba Motorsport car.
It's quite a rare feat to be on pole position for 3 races in one weekend. If I was to offer you 1 victory, only 1, would you take it, or do you think there's more than 1 victory in the bag for you this weekend?
No, I think I'll be going for all 3, thanks.
That's a horrible question, isn't it? But you think you've got it in you in the car?
Yeah, no, we've been strong from the start here. The team's done an awesome job preparing the car. I feel confident, I feel comfortable in the car, and I feel very relaxed, so yeah.
You've had a great start. Good luck. Drive safely.
Thank you.
Now, another driver who has a really good chance is Naqib Aslan. Naqib's been the best qualifier all season, no question about that. He's been the one-lap king. The challenge for Naqib is he hasn't been able to convert that to a victory. But, you know, this could be his big chance. Remember, in his home country now. So let's see. Whoa, I'm getting the no-no. Why is that? I'm getting the yes now, which is wonderful. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Naqib, good to see you. Not in pole position this time, but on the front row. Is this the race where we're going to see you take the checkered flag, do you think?
We can only do what we can, right? So we worked really hard to put ourselves where we are at, and all we can do is do the best that we can and pray that it all lands in place.
I'm right in saying, aren't I, that there is some big advantage that will accrue for you because you must know this track very, very well. Is that fair?
To a certain extent, but at the same time, a lot of these guys have done many laps around here too, so I don't think there's any certain advantage, but having my family here as well to support, that's going to be a big thing.
Yeah, that'll be lovely. I'm sure they and plenty of people around Malaysia will be rooting for you. Good luck today.
Thank you, mate. Yeah.
That's Naqib Aslan in P2 today. Another driver who's well placed actually to take advantage is Rodrigo Diaz Almeida. He's 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, but I just wonder if we can get a word with one of that team's key sponsors. I don't see them around actually. George Miltiados, I think he should be around somewhere, but I don't see him at the moment. Okay, not to worry. They hook up with some pretty significant sporting properties, and the idea that he's sponsoring and getting behind Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia is big for the sport, and big, of course, for Phantom Global and, of course, Rodrigo Diaz Almeida. Okay, we've spoken to a couple of people at the front of the grid. I want to get to the middle of the grid now, and the reason for that is we're welcoming back, in a sense, 2 drivers. I hope we'll get a chance to speak to Francis Chia, who had a bit of a bang, didn't he, in the first weekend of the season and hasn't driven since then, but he makes a very welcome return this weekend. So I want to see if we can get a chance to talk to him. But also, perhaps ahead of that, Roy Tang is making something of an emotional return. Now, let me see if we can find Roy. Roy is car number 25. There he is, a couple of cars away. Roy had a big smash here, 2-3 years ago, something like that, was hospitalized. It was a big injury that he had to get through. And he shared on social media how much of a challenge it's been, sort of emotionally, I guess, mentally, to come back to this track, take on that corner where he had the bang, and, you know, get to grips with it and get over it mentally. So I want to see how he's feeling about that now. Roy, can I have a quick word? I know this is a bit of an emotional return to the Sepang International Circuit, isn't it? Because you had a bit of a bang here not so very long ago, and it must be tough sort of facing your demons, I suppose, again this weekend.
Actually, over the weekend, my braking data, I'm braking a bit over too hard. That's why I'm losing some pace on it, but it's a very reliable car, very good brakes, so I think the brakes will have problems.
I mean, if we look at the practice sessions that you had and then qualifying, for somebody who's leading the category, is it fair to say you were maybe a bit tentative up until this morning? I mean, have you got that out of your system now, do you think?
I think it's wherever I hit the braking point at Sepang, it affects me a bit, because at the rest of the track, I'm usually pole or top two. But now I'm facing a bit of issue, a bit lack of pace at Sepang. But I think hopefully it gets better.
Okay, well, look, we're all rooting for you. Have a safe journey all the way to the checkered flag, and drive well.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
All the best. That's Roy Tang there, making a bit of an emotional return. We're not going to get a chance to speak to Francis, but we'll sure have an opportunity to speak to him on Sunday. 2 races to come on Sunday. Back to our commentators, though, for today's race.
Thanks, Steve. He might have to go and shake the hand of Roy Tang, who took the gloves off, was very much willing to have that conversation with Steve Dawson. Down there on the starting grid for the 9th round of the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. We've got 5 races left to go, championships left to be decided. And for the first time in his career, Marco Giltrap, Team Porsche New Zealand, on pole position, but alongside king of qualifying Niki Bazlan, the Malaysian, hoping to win on home soil for the very first time. Maceo Capietto slides into the Marcos Amon driven number 3. He's got Rodrigo Diaz Almeida alongside in that WeTrade Phantom Global machine, while Liu Rui and Nazim Azman, the Malaysian, returning just a week after his birthday. Sawyer Hongdat 7th, and the best of the Pro-Am drivers, Bao Jin Long lines up 8th, and just in front of Chris Chia, coming off that perfect weekend on the streets of Bong Sen. Seth Gilmore in that Porsche Centre Adelaide machine rounds out your top 10, while the best of the AMs, Chao Chi Kwan, has got some pressure from Aaron Lim in that 89 Absolute Racing car. Non-championship driver, though, means Roy Tang is second technically in points if they finish as they start. Ling Kang is 14th. Henry Kwong, defending AM champion, 15th, with Amna Al-Kabasi slotting into 16th position. Adrian De Silva, another one of our Malaysian contingent, defending champion in Masters, starts 17th, alongside returning Francis Chia, with Eric Kwong and Christian Chia rounding out the top 20. 21st for Jackie Wu in the Porsche-owned Retail 69 entry. Simon Chan in the black and green Fire Monkey Motorsports car is alongside, with Yen Truong and John Shen then 23rd and 24th. And you'll note some big missers. Big players have been missing as we roll down through the final of our Masters drivers. Douglas Koo in the Viper Nizza racing car. Josh Berry is 26th, but Dylan Pereira is 27th, and Li Jia in 28th. Qualifying lap time stripped from some of these drivers. Wong Jong-wei, the Pro-Am leader, starts from the very tail end of the field. But what it does mean is we should expect the likes of Pereira to be carving their way from the back of the pack, with the headlights paving the way. Of course, great news that Formula One will return to the Sepang International Circuit later this year, but we are here alongside of the Thailand Super Series and many other series running around the track, and there's been plenty of support this weekend for Malaysian drivers. Mentioned that on a couple of occasions, but Niki Bazlan, former Porsche Carrera Cup Asia talent pool driver Nazim Azman, Adrian De Silva and Douglas Koo. They are split across the Pro and our Masters classes. And in that Masters class, 5 drivers. So good to see Francis Chia back in that open road racing number 21 after the big contact made right off the start line at the Shanghai International Circuit to open up the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup season. There's a lot of smoke billowing from one of the cars. I'm trying to pick up exactly who that is. think that's Bao Jin Long's Origin Motorsports machine that continues to just send out smoke from clearly the exhaust system. So that's something that we'll keep an eye on as our drivers begin their formation lap. And again, remember, it is warm conditions, but that is far more smoke than you would expect. So the 9th round of the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia, the first night race of the season. And drivers begin the warm-up phase. Track temperature, remember, still around 41 degrees Celsius, so by no means have we seen the track completely cool off. Some great onboards as well that we'll see as we work through our 3 races this weekend. Some special liveries that at some point we'll be talking about. We had the Golden Tree in full bloom last time out on the streets of Bongsen for Jackie Wu, but ARbox partnering up this time with Dylan Pereira and Aaron Lim in the pair of Absolute Racing Porsche Cup cars. And the ARbox Boxman is on the side of Dylan Pereira's car, so expect him to be swinging for the fences as he tries to work his way from the back of the field. And then Aaron Lim is in a very silver livery in tribute to the Malaysian national flower, a hibiscus. And always got some great liveries, as much as it might be a struggle to see them with the somewhat dark conditions here at Sepang. Haven't seen so much movement back and forth, weaving energy into the tires. And curious if the drivers feel as though it's still warm enough that they don't need to do too much in this warm-up phase to get themselves ready to go. It's been around 6 weeks between the last round of the championship and this round. We'll have another 6-week break between this penultimate event and our relinking with the Formula One paddock for the Singapore Grand Prix, 10th and 11th of October. 2 more sprint races to come, where I get the feeling all of the championships will end up going down to the wire. It's the Pro-Am Championship that really, I think, is most probable to mathematically get locked up this weekend. But Bao Jin Long, if he has his way, will extend that fight all the way to the final lap of the season. Tension builds, no question. In the paddock, in the cockpit, sitting on your couch as well. Marcus Amon missing this round really does open the door. He has not been quite impervious this season, one would argue. But with 5 wins out of 8 races, it's been tough to displace him from the front. 29 Porsche Cup cars ready to go here at the Sepang International Circuit. What a glorious sight that it is. Adrian De Silva on home soil, slots into his pit stall, or his pit box, grid stall. And now just final moments of anxiety building for some. 3 races this weekend, and it all starts under the lights with a 13-lap sprint. Green flag at the back, and our driver's eyes to the lights. Let the Porsche Symphony sing in Sepang. And let's go. Great jump from Marco Giltrap. Converts pole to the lead of the race. as we fire it down to turn 1. About 400 meters on the run down to the braking zone. Naqib Aslan defends the inside in his Sime Motors entry. And 2x2 we tiptoe through the long right-hander. Capieto under pressure for third in that bright pink BWT Shanghai Yonder machine, but as we now run down the hill, sweep through the long right-hander at turn 3. Starting to see the separation build at the front. Most importantly, Naqib Aslan has at least converted a front row start to second as we complete the opening sector. Around the outside, that's brave. Just about works from Sawyer Hongdat, but then as we get to the right-hander, loses out. In towards the double right-handers at turn 7 and 8, the clear curve. Amna Al-Kabaisi in the heart of the pack. And you can see defensive now in towards turn number 9. That's a good move from Ling Kong, trying to pick his way through the running order. One of the pros that may be slightly out of position relative to where they qualified. Wait to see how many positions Dylan Pereira has made up at the start of this race, starting at the tail end of the field. But with Marco Giltrap having a good start at the front, checking away, he's building his advantage on the rest of the field. Up to the braking zone of the final corner. A crucial passing opportunity, but also to set yourself up down to turn 1. An overshot on the brakes. Cut back underneath. Seth Gilmore tried the move. And now back up alongside as they sweep down to the line. Lap 1 complete. Some great racing here, and look at the light sparkle as they run down to turn 1. Gilmore covers the inside, but then goes deep, even with the assists of ABS. He's fighting with Pro-Am driver Chris Chia. A little bit further down than he maybe would have wanted. Chris Chia separated from his main class competitor, Bao Jin Long, by Seth Gilmore. So that's why he's so keen to make his way through. Fastest first sector, by the way, from Rodrigo Diaz Almeida. So the top 4 still very close in pace as we tip onto the second lap of the 13-lap sprint. Dylan Pereira is up to 14th position, if you were curious. He has well and truly boxed his way up the running order, and Boxman's not done. There it is. The ARbox partnership with Absolute Racing. Carrera on the outside of Chao Chi Kwan, and you don't usually make that work. Chao Chi Kwan tries to slide across, close the door, but into turn 11, Dylan Pereira asserts his authority as the pro driver, defending Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup champion. And from 27th up to 13th spot in a lap and a half. Starting to get track limit warnings trickle in. That includes those up front. Naqib Aslan flagged for turn 8, first warning. This is a track where these drivers are going to use every bit of the tarmac and then some that is on offer. That Boxman car, we'll see it a lot more clearly, I am sure, in the light of day tomorrow. It's great to see the partnership that ARbox is bringing to not just the series, but with some of our teams as well. 209.306 for Marco Giltrap up front, of course, fastest of anybody. It's a move brewing further back as a couple cars once again deep in through turn 1. Now you can run a slightly wider line and cut back down, but it almost seems as though drivers are making mistakes more than anything. Adrian De Silva, he's 18th overall, but the fastest of the Masters drivers. Jackie Wu, the next in class, down in 22nd overall. And Francis Chia, on his return, is really being thrown into the mix of the action. He's got Adrian De Silva in front of him, Eric Kwong, hungry to try and keep himself in the AM Championship fight as well behind. Just up the road from them, about a second and a half, Josh Berry, Amna Al-Khabaisi fighting amongst themselves in pro, but they're trapped behind third place in class, Henry Kwong. Because of Chao Chi Kwan losing out to Dylan Pereira, he's actually lost out to Roy Tang as well. He's back to the lead in the AM class. And race control, having now reviewed the race start, have officially said that nothing warrants any further investigation. No surprise, your leader in the Giltrap group, Team Porsche New Zealand, number 66, fastest lap last time by, but this time a 209.306 comes down to a 209.190, and he's a good 4/10 quicker than anybody else, and you can see that gap down to turn one. Rodrigo Diaz Almeida has fallen back a little bit more on that last lap. Mainly lost the time in the final sector, so those last couple of corners in that WeTrade Phantom Global machine. There's a look at the EBM team watching from inside the garages. And Marco Giltrap has kind of let the goal for the weekend, he's laid it bare for Steve Dawson down on the grid and saying that, you know, just winning one of these races wouldn't be good enough. He's in a car that's capable of winning all three. He's capable of winning all three. And with Marcus Amon missing an opportunity to accumulate 75 valuable championship points. But wide there from, I think that was Henry Kwong. Meanwhile, there comes Dylan Pereira up the inside of Bao Jinlong, the Pro-Am leader. And from 27th to 8th, it's taken him about 3.5 laps. And Dylan Pereira is now only 13 seconds off our leader, if there is a safety car and we get a restart. Are you going to count out Dylan Pereira? Here's another look at it. Up the inside at turn 9. That's beautifully judged. It's great as well to have Dylan back in the series. It's, for a lot of the other drivers, especially those in the Porsche Asia talent pool, it's a real benchmark to compare themselves against. And with Marcus Amon missing current Porsche Junior driver, who better than a former champion of not just this series, but the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup to really make sure these drivers are aware of where the performance threshold should be. The lights flash as Sawyer Hongda in that Porsche Vietnam orange machine. Behind Lin Kang in the white and purple for Origin Motorsports. Once again, some different lines being run down to turn 1, the sweeping right-hand hairpin that drops you straight into turn 2. Yen Trong part of this fight with Simon Chan behind him in that bright black and green Fire Monkey Motorsports car. Something rather transfixing about watching cars race through the night. The headlights, sometimes you'll notice the flash, the communication between the drivers. But for some of these competitors who have endurance racing in their sights. It's a great opportunity to, in some cases, maybe get your first competitive taste of night racing. And talking of endurance racing, Adrian De Silva, I saw a note about him in the last week that he'll be racing some GT3 cars, both next weekend, but also at the Suzuka 1000 kilometers, where he's going to be paired up in a, of course, Porsche with Enzo Trilli, the Porsche Asia Pacific selected driver, one of our talent pool members last year. And so great to see that Adrian De Silva gets the chance to race the GT3 car alongside of Trilli. Into the final corner, Roy Tang has, for the most part, put the demons to bed, but there is a yellow flag flying in that final corner. Wonder if there's maybe some debris or something left for the drivers to worry about. So about halfway through the first race of the weekend, one of two sprint races, with a third endurance race to look forward to as well. It's Marco Giltrap, who's now only 1 second in front of Naqib Aslan, and the gaps are effectively now neutralized, as whatever had happened through the final corner, significant enough that the safety car has been deployed. What did I say about Dylan Carrera? 9th on track after starting 27th. There is our Porsche safety car waiting at the pit exit to pick up our overall leader. I see Aaron Lim is in pit lane. Lee Jia has lost some time, and there is the unfortunately stricken number 99 parked in the gravel. And I would assume that is the double right-handers. Yeah, that's the clear curve. Oh no, excuse me, that is turn 14, Sunway Lagoon corner, coming back onto the back straightaway, I would presume. It's a shame for Lee Jia in that AM class. Done a decent amount of racing in some of the Porsche Sports Cups as well, but I believe the first time he stepped up into the Porsche Carrera Cup Asia. He's got 2 more races tomorrow to set things right. So hopefully this is no more than a lap or two, and we'll get about a 5 or 6 lap shootout to the end. Here's a look on board with Matteo Capietto. He's the current Porsche Carrera Cup France junior driver. So he replaces Marcus Amond with a resume that's growing in accolades as well. This is a lot more like what I expected on our formation lap. Drivers weaving heavily to get temperature and energy into their tires. Marco Giltrap quite focused on that up towards the right-hander of turn 4. So Giltrap from Naqib Aslan, and then Matteo Capietto. That's the top 3 in Pro. In Pro-Am, Bao-Jin Long is 10th. Chris Chia then 12th, and Francis Chia down in 18th. So there's a bit of gap between the podium sitters in the Pro-Am class. That's partly because the AM drivers have managed to slip in front. Roy Tang leads from Chao Chi Kwan, Henry Kwong 3rd, and Eric Kwong, of note, in 4th. He missed the last round at Bong Sen, so he's when you look at the points slightly behind, but that's just because we haven't factored in the drop rounds just yet. And then in Masters, where Jackie Wu has just been given a 10-second time penalty, he sits second behind Adrian De Silva, but in front of Christian Chia, John Shen and Douglas Koo. Now, have to wait and see with how many laps that we get in this race. Will Jackie be able to build up a 10-second buffer? Here's a look at what happened on the start. The smoke from Bao Jinlong fortunately had dissipated, but as the lights drop, we go racing. Great jump from Marco Giltrap. Maybe not such a great start from Henry Kwong. Maybe he lost some ground there. You can see Rodrigo Diaz-Almeida trying to sweep to the outside of the track and open up the entry down to turn 1. Cappietto slightly boxes him out. That opens the door then for some others to enter the mix. Decent start for Seth Gilmore as well, as he got in front of Roy Tang and held on out of turn 2. And then as we climbed up to the next braking zone at turn 4, the last vestiges of sunlight trickling from those clouds, tidily able to work our way through what was a trouble point in previous years. However, Li Jia still sat there and stranded. Unfortunately, means that we are going to be racking up time against our 30-minute allotment. There's the Phantom Global Racing crew. It's got to be a hot period in the car as well for these drivers now. We've seen in the summer, especially coming from Bongsen in particular, images of the drivers looking really tired, sweaty of course, but feeling the impacts of these races. Now that's great news. So what we may have seen with Li Jia there was actually maybe a replay, and that car has been recovered because safety car is in this lap. An incident between the 99 and 22 at turn 6 was noted. That was Wong Jong Wei, Pro-Am driver, mixing it up with Li Jia in the Am class. And we'll see if there is anything to come from that from our race control team. So now, if you're Naqib Aslan, you want to win your first race this season after the 5 pole positions that you've had, only finished on the podium once this year. How do you time this restart? Are you looking over your shoulder at Maceo Cappietto, Rodrigo Diaz-Almeida, Liu Reiqi, even all the way back to Dylan Pereira in the boxman number 88? For Marco Giltrap, it's pretty simple. He controlled the first 5 laps of the race. Can he control 5 more laps? There's Alex Yoong in the corner of Naqib Aslan, has been one of the big supports in what has been a difficult year, using all of his experience through motorsport to guide Naqib on his journey. The headset off right now. He's let the team and the driver do the job that they know they can do. You can feel the tension. The cars are stacked up. They are ready to go, raring to go. How long will Marco Giltrap keep them waiting out of the final corner here at the Sepang International Circuit? Swings out wide. Traffic jam out of the final corner. But pedal to the metal, 5 laps left in the 9th round of the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. And on board with Aslan, down to turn 1. He's a bit too far behind to send it under the brakes. And instead he defends from Cappietto in the bright pink, pops to the outside. But Giltrap's left the door. Aslan closes up, and now as they drop through turn 2, he's all over the gearbox. Rumble over the curbs. And now the fight is well and truly on. The drag race up to turn 4. Track limits may be a question as they run wide on the climb into Langkawi. Rodrigo Diaz-Almeida is having to defend from Liu Reiqi. There is so much happening at the front of this pack. 9 pro cars in a line, but 3 stretching away through turns 5 and 6. Double right-hander coming up. So easy to make a mistake, put yourself offline here, and present a passing opportunity down to turn 9. But Marco Giltrap gets through safely. He's not looking like he's driving in his mirrors just yet. Focused on the road in front of him. Bobble on the curb once again. Liu Reiqi in the Phantom Global Racing 77. He's in the mix too here. Some more track warnings coming in. Second warning for Maceo Cappietto. And that was down at turn 3, no question about it. Ran out wide. But pushing on this restart, there is no question about that. Bao Jinlong holds on to the Pro-Am lead from Christian Chia. Looks like Roy Tang, close fight with Chao Chi Kwan for Am, holds on there. 4 laps left to go. Chopping and changing. There's Chao Chi Kwan fighting to try and get into the mix with Roy Tang. Josh Berry's there, he's alongside of Roy Tang. Is this the chance for Chao Chi Kwan to follow up the inside down to turn 1? In fact, he'll make it 3 wide. There's some championship implications here, and the drivers know it. They give each other a wide berth. But now that Josh Berry is through, Roy Tang and Chao Chi Kwan come to blows. Wide through turn 2. Chao Chi Kwan drops his right side wheels into the grass and has to slot back behind Roy Tang. Back to the outside as they climb out of turn 4. Josh Berry now closing in on Christian Chia as well. I think still side by side. It's Dylan Pereira this time. Fighting with Nazim Azman back in Porsche Carrera Cup Asia action. He gets a wiggle through turns 7 and 8, the clear curve. But Azman still on the inside. Recently celebrated his 25th birthday. And what a present it is to be back in the Carrera Cup Asia battlegrounds. Ling Kang on the tail as well. Pereira, boxman, back up the inside. Closes the door, does Azman, and that was as good as it gets. To see the opportunity to slam that door shut right as you got down to the apex. But was it just a momentary reprieve? Pereira sets things up, back out of turn 14. It's a 900-meter dash to the final corner at the Sepang International Circuit. From 27th to 7th for Pereira, and he is not done. The uppercut up the inside. Peels Azman off the apex, and as much as the Malaysian will put the power down and try and hold on, he's fighting a losing battle, you feel here. And Pereira, with all his experience in Porsche race cars, competing around the world, still not being given this position. The gold still left on the inside as the Origin Motorsports car hangs it now around the outside of turn 2. But a worthy defense, a stout defense, finally comes to an end. And Dylan Pereira claims 6th for himself. 2 seconds back from Liu Ruiqi. I don't think he's got a chance now of really doing much more. But I'm also getting the feeling that Marco Giltrap has done enough. Absorbed the pressure from Naqib Aslan on the start and the restart. And now holding everyone just at arm's length. It's 1 second that splits each driver inside of the top 5 right now. I wonder what the drivers have felt about the track temperature for today, because tomorrow, for the endurance and sprint race that we still have left, it will be under the heat of the Malaysian sun. And it was interesting that Naqib Aslan, when he spoke to Steve Dawson on our starting grid, did kind of acknowledge that as much as this is his home track, it's a track used for testing by many, including our Porsche Carrera Cup Asia Talent Pool assessment. News about that 2027 program, by the way, has been released, so if you want to maybe be part of it, drop a search into Google and maybe be part of the search process later this year at Sepang. But all of those laps, they mean something. It's your digital book of knowledge that you can fall back into. Whoa, big wiggle from Roy Tang there. Into the final corner under the brakes. And the AM fight is well and truly on. Chao Chi Kwan has been passed by Henry Kwong. And Francis Chia on his return to Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia, right in the middle of all of this. In the mirror, Roy Tang is looking over his shoulder. He was parked on the inside, down to turn 1. Fortunately for him, Chao Chi Kwan charges up the inside of Henry Kwong, spins him around. And going for a ride as well is Adrian De Silva, who will lose a whole bunch of places. Has that car stalled? Is he trying to fire it back up? Finally does. But drops behind Simon Chan. Has he dropped behind Christian Chia as well? Here's the replay. Chao Chi Kwan on the curb on the inside, but Henry Kwong's going to argue that he was pushed quite aggressively there. And Adrian De Silva getting, I think, a touch from somebody else. Couldn't quite make out who it was. Riding on board with De Silva in that EBM number 61. As you'd, of course, expect, our race control team has seen that incident, noted it, and we'll see if there's any further repercussions to be handed down. But with 1 lap left to go, when we cross the line, Naqib Aslan is doing everything he can, and that includes playing the mental mind games, flashing the light, and trying to distract Marco Giltrap from the lead of this race. His first pole position. He's held the lead for 12 laps, 5.5 kilometers left to go here at the Sepang International Circuit. Naqib Aslan, 5 poles, still searching for career win number 1. Not close enough, down to turn 1, but they've dropped Maceo Capieto, Rodrigo Diaz Almeida, and Liu Ruiqi. The last lap, sign for all the drivers. Down through turn 2. Liu Ruiqi boxing it up with Dylan Pereira. Slipped 1 punch, but the next one's coming into turn 4. And Naqib Aslan's got some designs on a move of his own. Back to within 0.6 of a second at the front of the field. And last lap, he gained 0.4 of a second. Sometimes we've talked about Naqib as a sim racer going into the real world, but we should not take away from his credentials in real world racing as well. Porsche Esports Sprint Challenge Malaysia champion, and now here at his home track, and with an opportunity. Marco Giltrap makes a mistake at turn 9. But parked on the apex, Naqib Aslan can find no way around. There's 2 more places, maybe, left for Aslan to make his move, to make his mark. Down through turn 13 and into the winding turn 14. Aslan tries a title line, he shows himself in the mirror, he gets to the right rear. Maybe some contact, but Giltrap drives off the corner. Did Aslan try 1 corner too early? What a race. The 9th round of the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. It wasn't easy. Pole to victory for Marco Giltrap, but pushed all the way to the very end. It's Team Porsche New Zealand, it's Giltrap Group on top at the Sepang International Circuit. Take a breath, take a bow. Half a second between them at the line. Capietto on debut in the Carrera Cup Asia finishes on the podium. And as the rest of the field comes to the line, Bao Junlong, Pro-Am winner. Couple of cars clear of Christian Chia. And then putting those demons to bed, Roy Tang, winner in the Am class, just in front of Chao Chi Kwan. Unbelievable for Roy to be able to come here and put some new memories into the back of his mind. And now that our penalty will get triggered through for Jackie Wu, I believe what that means is Christian Chia in the open road racing, number 69, will end up as Masters winners. Well, breathe for just a minute. We'll get ready to do all of this again in just about 14 hours' time for the second race of the weekend, and a much shorter break before our 3rd and final race here at Sepang. Still got our podium celebrations and much to come today, so don't go anywhere just yet. However, I think we've got something to look forward to tomorrow, especially in that endurance race when we have a rolling start. It'll be a slightly different run down to turn 1. And of course, add a little bit onto the clock. Who can manage the tires best? Likely going to become a key question too. Marco Giltrap, first victory in the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. Great to see that for the 22-year-old, whose best finish this season was a couple of second-place finishes. Been on the podium 3 times, and will finally stand on the top step. Nakib Aslan will be alongside. I'm sure it will still be a special moment to celebrate a podium at his home race, but there's still plenty more I'm sure he's thinking about for tomorrow. Hive of activity is the pit lane right now as Marco Giltrap finds that number 1. Just going to wait for the other couple of cars to slot in before Marco gets out of that car. Just leaving them the required space to slot in. And this is a special moment for the Giltrap family, racing in their blood. I'm sure for his father Richard Giltrap as well, this is very, very special to see. Let's talk unofficial race results with potentially some things still to be looked at. But Marco Giltrap half a second clear of Nakib Aslan as Team Porsche New Zealand and Team Porsche Malaysia went head to toe. at the front of the field. Maceo Caprietto on debut in the Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia is third, with Rodrigo Diaz-Almeida in the We Trade Phantom Global machine right behind him. Dylan Pereira goes from 27th to 5th. Great charge from Boxman in the Absolute Racing 88, while Yurei Chi, Nazim Azman, Ling Kang and Sawyer Hongdat finish in front of Bao Jinlong, the best of the Pro-Ams, and that's the top 10. Josh Berry, Seth Gilmore in front of Chris Chia, the second of the Pro-Ams, while Roy Tang finishes in front of Chao Chi Kwan to hold on to the Am win. Behind him, the returning Francis Chia. Great to see him back in the Porsche Cup car after the incident at the start of the season. Amna Alkabesi slots into 17th with Wong Zhongwei. The brothers Kwong, Eric in front of Henry after the incident with Chao Chi Kwan, Yen Chuang, Jackie Wu, Simon Chan, Christian Chia, John Shen, Adrian De Silva, Douglas Koo. I think Jackie Wu likely to be given that penalty as well. Under the night lights, it was time for the 9th round of the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. Marco Giltrap converted pole position to the lead of the race, but the fight was from the back of the field as Dylan Pereira in the Absolute Racing number 88. The car named Boxman fought his way from the tail end of the field up towards the front. Marco Giltrap broke away in the early stages, as did a couple of other class leaders, but it was Li Jia unfortunately slipping off the track that saw the safety car called, and the race packed up. It led to some close combat, especially at the front of the Am class, where Roy Tang got into a fight with Josh Berry. That allowed Chao Chi Kwan and Henry Kwong to insert themselves into the action as well. Dylan Pereira from 27th to 6th at the end of the day made his way past Nazim Azman. That was the contact between Chao Chi Kwan and Henry Kwong. And then on the very last lap, Nakib Aslan had 1 and 2 bites at Marco Giltrap. He got close, but not close enough. And for the first time in his Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia career, Marco Giltrap, Team Porsche New Zealand, stand on top of the podium here at the Sepang International Circuit. Let's head down to Steve Dawson and catch up with, I'm sure, a delighted Marco Giltrap.
Marco Giltrap with the big win in this first race of a 3-race weekend. Marco, you said you were good for all 3 wins. The first one's been ticked off, as you said to me just a few moments ago. You must feel good. It was a dominant race, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit messy at the end from my side, so we have something to work on for the next 2. But yeah, really stoked to come away with a win. Good start to the weekend. Obviously, tomorrow to go, 2 really tricky races. It's not going to be straightforward.
After that good start, were there any concerns once the safety car came out? And then, obviously, by that time, Naki was right on your tail, wasn't he?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a huge gap before the restart, but obviously you lose a little bit of momentum. But no, I got a solid restart, but made a couple of mistakes on the last lap, which cost me a bit of time, but yeah, managed to hold out.
These are valuable points with Marcus Am on the way. Don't want to put too much pressure on you, but you've set yourself up for what could be a really great weekend. Fantastic start, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks, Steve. I think Marco's already starting to think about tomorrow, which I don't blame him for. But we've got some festivities to enjoy first in our podium celebration. What a glorious track this is, by the way, this Sepang International Circuit. I'm sure the drivers enjoyed their first race of 3. Back down to catch up with Pro-Am winner Bao Jinlong.
Well, we haven't seen Bao Jinlong for a while, but no big surprise that on his return he gets the win. You're just saying that you feel too old for this business. What do you think?
Yes, honestly, I'm too old. I'm over 40 years old. I think I should have the rest.
Good track to come back to, though, after a bit of a break, because it's a nice wide open track, isn't it? Chance for you to do all the things you do really well.
Yes, for me, this year is not so easy, because before with the ABS, I'm very strongest at the brake. But now with ABS, for me, it's not easy to update to the ABS. So I think I'm back.
Well, it's good to see you back. Well done, well driven.
Thank you.
It is nice to see Bao back. He had said last year that one of his goals is to try and challenge some of the pros a bit more, but I think that now may be a challenge left to 2027 as he focuses maybe on the Pro-Am Championship. and trying to keep himself in mathematical chance for as long as possible. Slowly, by the way. I'm sure the track will empty, but not of our team. Great team putting on the event, of course, at the Sepang International Circuit alongside our great broadcast team. They've been doing some great work, and that means Steve Dawson's doing some great work down on pit lane.
Well, it's an honour to have this cap on. Let's put it on its rightful owner. Hey, that's one of the good stories of the weekend. A year ago, you had a crash here that was a pretty serious one. Difficult, mentally tough to come back, but it all worked out very well for you.
Yes, somehow I had a very, very good start, so I started from P2. I think I might have a bit of trauma on braking, but maybe I have no trauma of releasing the clutch, so I had a full throttle, so I get a good start. Got a P1. A lot of defending out there. I think the drivers are very professional, although we are M-class, but there's no bang-bang. And they respect the rule, they respect the space, and we managed to defend all the way and get the P1. It was very close.
Well done. It's dark now, but it seemed like it was a bit foggy as well as the lights came on. I mean, how was visibility out there for you in the middle of the pack with all those cars around you?
I think it's fine. It doesn't affect me too much. And the F1 light is perfect here. Yeah. I think it's quite clear, the vision.
All right. A lot of people very happy to see you make this wonderful comeback. Big success. Well done.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Saw the smile. I think that said it all. Great to see Roy Tang able to get some success here at the track. And he said, no bang bang. That's how I'm describing it from now on. No bang bang, please, drivers. We want some good hard racing out there on track. Speaking of some good racing, 5 Masters cars. Let's go catch up with our race winner.
All right, Christian Chia has taken the win. And look, there was a 10-second penalty from one of your adversaries. Tell us about it. And was it all skill and effort on your part?
You know, it was off to a good start and quite a physical race. But yeah, I was informed quite early on in the race that there was a 10-second penalty ahead. So I think that worked in our favor for sure. And then Adrian had an unfortunate spin towards the end as well. So I think shame for Adrian for sure, but happy with the win.
How much does it change your mindset when you get that message about a 10-second penalty from an opponent?
You know, it becomes like managing the race then, right? Because especially with the safety car, brought the field close together. And as long as I keep him in my eyesight, no undue risk required.
All right, great to see you back on the top step. Enjoy the champagne.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Great to have Christian Chia back in a 29-car field as well. That is one of the biggest grids we've had this year. And always nice to see a healthy complement of what is a new generation of Porsche Cup car racing in just 4 championships around the world: Carrera Cup North America, Deutschland, and the Porsche Mobile One Super Cup alongside our Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. So, with our winner interviews now wrapped up, that just leaves the joy of spraying the champagne. So that should be great for these drivers, although don't get those race suits too wet. You still need them tomorrow for the 2 races that we have in front of us. And based on today, I will say, I think tomorrow could be a scorcher. Track temperature at 41 degrees Celsius when we started the race off. It's very warming even compared to last year from around the same time. There is the Michelin man, Mr. Babendum, ready to celebrate on the podium here at Sepang. We'll start, of course, with our overall podium. That includes the Marco Giltrap, Niki Baslan, and Maceo Capietto trio. But it will also include the dealer trophy winner as well. And that's not something I talked much about today. But Team Shanghai Honda, or BWT Shanghai Honda, I should say, first in points ahead of Team Porsche New Zealand. That's why it's important. Let's head down, celebrate, and spray some champagne.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for round 9 of Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia 2026 in Sepang International Circuit, Malaysia. We are going to invite our award presenters to kindly take over the podium. First, we have Mr. Christopher Hunter, CEO of Porsche Malaysia, and Samdawi Auto Performance. Please welcome them. Together with Mr. Azan Shafriman Hanif, Chief Executive Officer from Sepang International Circuit. And together with Mr. Alex Gibo, Director of Porsche Motorsports Asia Pacific. Ladies and gentlemen, let's review the winners of round 9 of Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia 2026 for the overall class. On third place, we have driver number 3, Marcio Cabieto from BWT Shanghai Yongda. Second place, driver number 17, Nakim Aslan from Team Porsche Malaysia. And the winner goes to driver number 66, Marco Kiltrap from Team Porsche New Zealand. Congratulations to the dealer winner is Team Porsche New Zealand. May I kindly invite Mr. Christopher Hunter to please present the winner trophy together with the check and the dealer trophy. Next, I would like to invite Mr. Azan Shafriman Hanif to please present the second place trophy together with a check. And may I now invite Mr. Alex Gibo to please present the third place trophy together with a check. I would like to invite all of the award presenters to please join the winners at the podium for a group photo, please. All right, gentlemen, let's pose for the cameras. Big smile, thumbs up in 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much to all of our award presenters. It is time for some champagne. Let us keep the checks for you. Celebrate! Once again, a big round of applause to our overclass winners.
Some well-earned celebrations for our overall podium. And again, remember, Porsche dealer implications as well. Back down, let's celebrate our Pro-Am winners.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to present the awards for our winners for the Pro-Am class. May I once again invite all of our award presenters to please take your position. Mr. Christopher Hunter, Mr. Azan Shafriman Hanif, together with Mr. Alex Gibo. Thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us reveal the winners for the Pro-Am class. On third place, congratulations to driver number 21, Francis Chia from Open Road Racing. Second place, driver number 79, Xian from Phantom Global Racing. And the winner goes to driver number 7, Bao Jilong from Origin Motorsport. May I kindly invite Mr. Christopher Hunter to please present the winner trophy. I would like to invite Mr. Azan Shafriman Hanif to please present the second place trophy. And may I invite Mr. Alex Gibault to please present the third place trophy. Now let's invite all of the award presenters to join our winners for a group photo, please. All right, gentlemen, please look at the cameras in front of you. Big smile, thumbs up in 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much to our award presenters. It is time for some champagne. Congratulations again to our winners for the Pro-Am class.
That Pro-Am championship still very much mathematically up for grabs, but Wong Jong-wei still the points leader with 4 races to go. Back down for our podiums.
I would now like to once again invite our award presenters to take the position. Once again, Mr. Christopher Hunter, Mr. Azan Shafriman Hanif, together with Mr. Alex Gibault, as we are about to present the trophies to the winners for the M class. On third place, congratulations to driver number 23, Eric Wong for Backwork. Second place, driver number 610, Hao Qikwan from 610 Racing. And the winner goes to driver number 25, Tianfu Roy Tang from 610 Racing. May I now kindly invite Mr. Christopher Hunter to please present the winner trophy. I would like to invite Mr. Azan Shafriman Hanif to please present the second place trophy. And over to Mr. Alex Gibault to please present the third place trophy. And can I invite all of the award presenters for a group photo, please? Please join our winners for a group photo. All right, gentlemen, let's pose for the cameras. Big smile, thumbs up. 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much to our award presenters. It is time for champagne. Once again, congratulations to our winners for the M class.
For Roy Tang, I'm sure that felt very, very special. Mr. Bibendum still up there and waiting for our final podium. It's time to celebrate the Masters
Mr.
class.
Christopher Hunter, Mr. Azan Shafriman Hanif, together with Mr. Alex Gibault. Let us get ready to welcome our winners for the Masters class. On third place, congratulations to driver number 61, Adrian De Silva from EBM. Second place, driver number 16, John Shen from Modena Motorsports. And the winner goes to driver number 69, Christian Chia from Open Road Racing. May I now invite Mr. Christopher Hunter to please present the winner trophy. Next, I would invite Mr. Azan Shafriman Hanif to please present the second place trophy. And may I invite Mr. Alex Gibault to please present the third place trophy. Let's invite all of the award presenters to join our winners for a group photo, please. There we have it, gentlemen. Please pose for the cameras in front of you. Big smile, thumbs up in 3, 2, 1. Thank you to all of our award presenters. Let's have the final round of champagne.
Well, what a first race of 3. We'll be back at 11 a.m. local time for race 2 of the weekend. Join us for the continuation of the 2026 Porsche ARbox Carrera Cup Asia. Thanks, folks.
Thank you,